The pendant?
You sure it's the exact same necklace, not some knockoff?
There's no way one of us would mistake it. There's only one in the world.
Why would the Valkyria be wearing Miss Maria's pendant?
No way! Is she already...
If they were going to kill her, they would have done it already with everyone else that day. But they took her.
Which is why we knew she was still alive.
I believe she is, even now. I'm uncertain about that pendant, however.
There's a lot about this last battle we don't understand, including a new Grand General with advanced augmentation. Not to mention a Valkyria with Miss Maria's pendant and the princess's newfound power.
You gonna report all that crazy shit?
No, the royal family said not to. I suppose they don't want anyone thinking the princess is a Valkyria herself.
I didn't anticipate that a Valkyria would be deployed. You have my apologies.
It's my fault too. I didn't catch even a hint of it.
Means their classified info's on lockdown. Not too shabby.
But we now know for certain. Unless we defeat the Valkyria, we can't carry our wishes to completion.
Ruse clearly means business. Expect to encounter the Valkyria again.
Lucky us. The more they show their hand, the more chances we get to beat them up.
Am's the one who's beating them up?
Hey, Vi. Don't forget about the alchemic weapons I developed. Of course, Sabanchi and company is gonna keep on upping the ante. So come on, let's all kick some Valkyrian ass together.
Yeah, together.
I'll see what I can dig up on Valkyria lore. Might discover something new if we compare it to what we've seen firsthand.
We'll need to look into the princess's song, too.
It's called a Galder.
Care to share with the class, Sam?
Powerful magic that's channeled through singing. That's all I learned at the Institute. I don't remember the specifics, but I think it can somehow weaken a Valkyria.
I think I've read something about that before. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's definitely worth looking into.
If we press the advantage, it may become our trump card against the Valkyria.
Which means, Am, you'll need to properly protect the princess.
Guess the Maiden of Jutland's our new VIP, huh? Hey, what's up?
I'm sorry. I let Gustav get away.
Oh, that? Forget about it.
If the Empire is taking the war with Jutland in earnest, we can be sure the Grand Generals will be on the battlefield. We don't need to rush it, Amlet.
The Grand Generals. Didn't think they'd find a new one so fast.
Yeah, who the hell is this guy?
Laertes, the Prince of Ipsaria.
Say what?
Ophelia said she was sure.
Ipsaria's prince alive. What a scoop.
Even if he's the real deal, it doesn't change the fact that Ruse wiped out the rest of Ipsaria's royal family. Which means the Emperor killed this guy's parents. So how the goddamn did he end up a Grand General?
The trust between the Emperor and his Grand Generals is stronger than blood. I'm sure there's a reason he was at it.
Vi, could you look into him?
Yeah, I'll dig around.
Thanks.
Ipsaria has calmed down under Jutland's rule. The existence of the prince may become a hindrance.
This is getting complicated.
Very. All the more reason to be careful.
You're awake.
Miranda.
You should lie down, milady.
No, I am all right. Although my head is still a bit foggy.
My brother told me what happened.
I cannot remember much, except wanting to protect everyone by singing. That much I recall quite clearly.
And protect them you did. Godot said your voice was angelic.
Is that so?
His Majesty has ordered the military to research your song.
Huh.
Your Highness may very well be the real anti-Valkyria force.
Me? This is most confusing. Yet I cannot forget the battlefield. Whatever they say about me, The truth is that when Vandergind really needed me, I failed to prove myself to the anti-Valkyria squad. Where is Godot now?
My brother's out. He said he wanted to look something up.
Leaving so soon?
Yes, sorry for intruding.
Did you find the article you wanted?
Yes, thank you for the assistance.
No, by all means. Happy to be of help.
Thank you, again. I must be off.
Huh? Oh, Freet! What brings you here? We don't have a meeting scheduled, do we?
Just need to do a bit of research. The guy who just left, wasn't that...
The orphanage that burned down 10 years ago. It was in Molda. The mother and daughter running it, and most of the children all burned to death. Only 5 orphans survived. I'm certain one of them was the captain. And it was 10 years ago that then Crown Prince Claudius came to Molda with the 4 Grand Generals. He came to survey the Valkyria ruins. Unfortunately, most of the records from then were lost once Molda was annexed by Ruse. It can't be a coincidence that all the records of the captain and the other orphans vanished around the same time.
Oh, Lieutenant Villefort! It's getting really bad, sir. Please, come help.
Explain yourself, knave. Clamming up again! Do you take us for fools, you baseborn?
Are you finished? I acknowledge your complaint. Seems there's room for improvement in my command style. I apologize. I'll try to work on that. Don't hesitate to speak up if you have any further complaints in the future. That goes for all of you. Is that all?
You!
What's going on here?
Oh, as always, you have great timing.
We wanted the captain to explain with his words what happened at Avaloon.
You're referring to when he disappeared.
Don't you find that suspicious? He just ran off without telling us a thing.
It happened in Molda, too. He acted on his own. It's unusual.
And you all feel the same?
Well, we don't plan to yap on about it as much as a certain someone, though. It's just, well, we want to do something about this atmosphere.
This keeps up, the group won't be able to work well as a unit. We should resolve this issue, you know.
Don't know, don't care.
But wait, everybody. The reason the captain ran off was to face the Valkyria alone. I'm sure he just didn't want to put anyone else in danger.
If that's the case, that's a big problem. It means the captain doesn't trust our abilities. This unit was created to eliminate the threat of the Valkyria. If we aren't trusted, we won't be able to risk our lives when it's needed most.
And you're a soldier, too. You get what Bridget's saying, don't you?
Now do you understand the severity of the situation? We can't carry on like this.
I trust each and every last one of you. I wouldn't be here if not for all of you. I thought for sure the Valkyria was going to kill me. But then you guys showed up, and we won. The anti-Valkyria squad won.
Captain.
If we work together, we can overwhelm the Valkyria. I have a responsibility to bring victory to Jutland, and I'll need your strength to do that. I'm counting on all of you.
Don't look at me! I shan't be fooled by such words. Besides, that was no explanation. 'Twas a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
I think it best to drop this matter.
Excuse me?
It's true the captain's behavior as of late has been suspect, and I cannot and will not ignore that. But we are at war. Right now, the only thing that matters is victory. I will personally keep note of the captain's actions, and render judgment after the campaign winds down. Do you find that agreeable, Captain?
I have no objections.
Then the matter is settled. We remain on standby until the next mission. Dismissed.
What?
Jorder.
Roger.
What the deuce? Now, see here, I still haven't even...
Well now, we have a standby order. That means it's time for drinks.
I hope I didn't overstep my bounds.
Not at all.
Captain, I want to trust you.
Yes, so you've mentioned.
That is why I will continue to look into your past. This war is personal for you. Whatever's between you and the Grand Generals causes you to lose your composure. The fire at the orphanage in Molda, the children who survived, Claudius looking into the Valkyria ruins at that same time. I must know what it is you're hiding.
Anything unusual happen?
Hmm?
I saw one of your men leaving the newspaper's office.
Godot. He's looking into my past. He learned about the orphanage, the fire. He knows there were survivors.
The article from 10 years ago. I should have destroyed it.
He became suspicious because of my behavior during the last mission. We need to be careful.
Right. Well, better tell the others. I'll mention it to Vi and Saul. Need to speak with them about the next column anyway. You tell Baz. He ought to be at his factory. See ya.
Cut it out. Huh? How you doing?
How are you?
Huh?
The Reaper.
Can't you defeat it? You did make it retreat.
Sure, we got some shots in, got it to back down, but I don't think we could actually beat it.
I trust Amlet's instincts, as both an alchemist and as a soldier. So, what you're saying is we lack the decisive firepower to finish things.
It's gotta have some sort of weakness.
Hey, Em, got any tips or tricks? You're the one who met it.
Notice any similarities between the two encounters? Anything in the conditions, or the way it shook out?
The conditions? Now that I think about it, the sun was rising when it fled from both encounters.
It left at dawn? Both times?
Yeah. As soon as the sun came out, it ran off, despite having the advantage.
Daybreak.
Maybe.
Yeah, the sun.
Something about it scares the Valkyria off.
Now that you mention it, the times that a Valkyria has been seen on the battlefield have always been at night.
Then our approach is simple. We avoid night battles.
Yeah.
Don't stop the presses just yet.
I don't think this information needs to leave this room.
The army needs to know. If they can steer clear of the Valkyria, they can avoid a lot of unnecessary casualties.
I'll report it in then. You won't be brought under suspicion that way. They'd question the source of the intel and whatnot.
Right.
Oh, yeah, speaking of reporting in, the identity of that augmented soldier Am asked me to look into, that really was the Prince of Ipsaria.
Is that intel from your usual piece of man candy?
Oh, which man are you referring to? I'm rather popular, you know. My web at the Officers Club is expanding.
Damn, what happened to our innocent little Vi?
Carry on.
Jeez, no need to be so grim. He's apparently working as the Emperor's instrument of destruction, as a human experiment for augmentation. He's being deployed to various battlefields as a secret weapon.
That sounds dreadful.
Doesn't it? Hey, think we can pull the Prince in as an ally? He must be close to the Emperor if he's a Grand General.
Maybe it's all an act and he's waiting for a chance to avenge that whole regicidal killing spree business.
No, we need the Prince to disappear.
Why?
I want to keep it so the Prince was murdered by the Empire. Ipsaria started to function with the interim government. In order to have the Ipsarians follow Jutland, we focused on the fact that both of our countries were oppressed by the Ruzi Empire, that we have a mutual enemy. The thought that their royal family has been massacred is a driving force for the people of Ipsaria.
He's right. I wrote a column saying as much. I just want to point out suppressing this is a very Solomon thing to do.
Loose lips sink ships, you know.
Indeed. If they discover their prince is alive, Ipsaria will be swayed to his side. Jutland would lose its jurisdiction. Listen, Amlet. Find him on the battlefield and strike him down. It's nothing out of the ordinary. Even more so since he's calling himself a Grand General. He's only an enemy to us. Amlet?
Sure. No problem.
Also, there's one other thing. It's regarding 2nd Lieutenant Villefort. I heard from Freet. In a time where people have difficulty in simply surviving, I'm astounded to find such a meddlesome person.
Is it safe to leave him be?
Should we take care of him?
You're not serious, are you?
I don't think that's wise.
No shit. But we better be prepared to deal with the big guy.
Godot's under my charge. Leave it to me.
Captain, care to spar?
Sure. Let's do this!
What matters most right now is maintaining the squad's sense of unity. I will do all I can to make sure the squad works cohesively come mission time. That is why I urge you to avoid conducting yourself in a suspicious manner, Captain.
I hear you.
As for the rest of you, this isn't a show.
Crap.
Perhaps a week of latrine duty is a fitting punishment?
I defer to your judgment, Lieutenant.
Well then, we should likewise head back to base.
A fine pickle.
Huh?
Poppycock.
Thank you.
How lovely.
What's the matter? We've got a new assignment. Seems that way.
Op details are as follows. That's all.
Next, we cut off the enemy's supply lines. We're going to take down the bridge at Vonskold Gorge.
That means destroying that magnificent iron bridge. Such a shame.
That supply line directly connects the north to the south, but the northern region is currently impeded by the snow. If we deplete their reinforcements and supplies, it'll be easier for us to overtake them. At any rate, we continue the offense. Maintaining our victory streak is essential right now.
Understood. I'll inform the Army's commanding officer.
Please do. I'll suppress any dissenting opinions at Parliament.
Speaking of whiners, Vi's doing her spy thing, but what about Baz? Should we be making decisions without him? He's not going to like being left out.
About that. Meetings are the furthest thing from his mind at the moment. You should return to headquarters, Anlet. I suspect that Basil is eagerly waiting for you.
Yo, we've been waiting for you. Especially this bad boy.
You finished upgrading it.
Well, it's just a prototype, but its Ragnite transmission capabilities got spiced up to the max. Should be able to extract a hell of a lot more mana now.
Yeah, I can already tell. This is good work, Basil.
I know, right?
The captain gets all the best stuff.
As soon as we snag some more Ragnite, we'll soup up the rest of your weapons too. The shipment should get here pronto.
Yay! Thanks, Basil!
You can bet on me. This mana tech's amazing, and I'm just getting started.
Op details are as follows. That's all.
What? Are you still sulking?
Seriously? Get over it already.
Don't be such a sad sack, Isaac.
Sad sack.
Say what you will. At least I'm not so naive as you knaves.
Apprehensive, wary. I guess that's the nature of a scout.
Hey, can you not classify me with him? And what's so funny, Bloom?
I'm sorry?
Unit's mood seems different.
Does it?
Something has changed.
Nothing major.
Am I being left out of the group now?
Of course not.
December 31st, the Battle of Von Skold Gorge. The Jutland army took the rear guard to preserve their strength. The Vannergan executed the attack independently.
Attack the bridgehead and keep the enemy at bay until the bridge breaks. Got it? Let's go. All right. Here they come. If Godot doesn't get here in time, we're gonna have our work cut out for us.
Looks as though they number in the few. Let's attack at once.
Yes, let's.
Let's do this together!
Fire!
Just like we planned. Mission complete. Let's link up with Godot and withdraw.
Wonderful.
Princess! Princess!
Missed the mark. Pursue her. We must finish her off.
My fall must have been broken. Oh no!
I suppose I'll torment her a bit before killing her. It would have been such a sight had you wailed and begged for your life. But that seems unlikely. How disappointing. What?
Hamlet, everyone! I knew you would come.
Glad to see you're still alive. Stay behind me.
You came down the cliff in that state?
Yeah. All right.
I will not forget this insult, this humiliation.
I've caused trouble for all of you, yet again.
No one thinks that.
Everyone. The prince!
They're after Ophelia. We need to protect her.
We need the prince to disappear.
What's the matter, Alchemist? What a pitiful display.
Don't know what you mean.
When we crossed blades before, there was an intensity to your swings. They had conviction. Your skill today is a pale comparison. I see nothing behind it. There's no hint of the swordplay I faced the other day.
Awfully chatty this time. Something up?
Not at all. I'm just disappointed in you.
Please, wait!
Huh? What are you doing?
Both of you, lay down your arms.
What?
There is no reason for us to fight each other.
Are you joking?
Get out of the way, Ophelia. He's one of Ruse's Grand Generals. That's all the reason we need.
I will do no such thing. There has to be a reason he assumed that rank and title. Isn't that so, Prince Laertes?
I told you, I am not that person.
Nay, you are indeed Prince Laertes. As Princess of Jutland, I say to you, Prince of Ipsaria.
Stop fooling around!
I shall give you back Ipsaria. Neither the Kingdom of Jutland nor the Ruzi Empire should rule over the state of Ipsaria. That honor belongs to you, the heir apparent to its throne.
Well said for someone who has seized my homeland from the Empire.
Beg pardon?
Since the royal family is no more, Jutland declared it would govern instead. Sounds like nonsense to me. The country that controls the Ragnite has simply changed from Ruse to Jutland. Why not honestly proclaim that this is an invasion, and not some embellishment like liberation?
'Tis no invasion. We freed your nation from usurpation, so that everything may be restored to its rightful order. True, Jutland governs Ipsaria, but as stewards, not tyrants. All to protect your people, whose freedom the Emperor stole. However, liberty can only be won by the Crown Prince's hand. Devote your life to your country, not another man's cause. As for myself, I wish only for peace between our lands. I want both our countries to prosper, together.
Emperor Claudius let me live. I have chosen to dedicate myself to His Imperial Majesty.
Your Highness!
Your words are hollow. If you want to speak of ideals, be resolute. Be prepared to sacrifice. Be like His Majesty.
We wish for you to assassinate the Princess Ophelia.
Why does my heart waver then?
Amlet, no!
Your skills have gotten even duller. What's the hurry, Alchemist? Your sword is unworthy to be in my presence. Princess, I will attack Ipsaria in broad daylight and drive all of you out, as a general of the Ruzi Empire.
Wait!
Amlet, you mustn't!
Come on now! He's the enemy. He tried to kill us both.
That is where you are wrong. I know we can somehow come to an understanding. Nay, we absolutely must. His heart beats for his homeland, just as strongly as ours. Can you not see that? Though you cannot now, one day you will. And when that day comes, we shall reach out together and reason with him.
You looked into his eyes. There's nothing there but anger. There's no reasoning with someone like that.
You two have the very same eyes. Are you lost to reason as well?
Your Highness, are you safe? Princess? Captain?
The battle at Von Skold Gorge also ended in a victory for Jutland. Every newspaper wrote that Jutland avenged the soldiers who had died to the Valkyria in the prior battle. Conversely, the Ruzi Empire was forced to completely re-examine their line of supply.
I apologize deeply. Not only did I fail to eliminate the princess, the mana weaponry Your Majesty entrusted in my care was destroyed. I cannot excuse myself for this blunder.
Spare us the melodrama, Victor. What is past is prologue. Our next chapter holds new opportunities.
However, one of our major supply lines for the coming winter has been cut off. It is obvious that Jutland is trying to snow us in.
Maxime, how, pray tell, would you judge Victor's results?
Why do you ask me?
Who better than the one originally assigned to the mission? He who refused the appointment should have quite an opinion.
If I may speak freely, Grand General Timoshev does not specialize in this type of military tactic. He will rebound in a situation that caters to his true strengths.
Oh, what a generous evaluation.
It's my belief that dirty work such as this does not suit Your Majesty's path to power, and we should drop it.
Maxime! How dare you show such insolence to His Majesty?
Every action I take is to be a valued general. I dare say my opinion because I believe it will benefit His Majesty. The enemy will be more vigilant with this incident. But that princess, she won't yield. She will come forward. That is the moment we should defeat her.
A valid assessment. Maxime's judgment reflects our own. As for you, Victor, let this redouble your devotion to Ruse.
Yes, sire.
Now, about that summons we received from the Vion Summit.
It would appear the events at Von Skold Gorge shocked all of the great nations.
Take Vanagon's alchemic weaponry receiving major upgrades. It's proof that Ipseria's Ragnite now belongs to the Jutes.
The ambassadors have been ridiculing us for losing, despite having the strength of the Valkyria on our side.
These self-styled superpowers. Those sycophantic fools are plotting some petty scheme. No matter. We shall maintain a fair distance, as always.
What a troublesome princess.
Can't believe she started lecturing on the battlefield.
As long as she doesn't interfere with our plan, I don't care what she does.
And if she does, you don't plan to... You wouldn't say that now, would you, Saul?
It depends on which is more important to us, Jutland or our revenge.
Bingo.
Stop it! You boys are scaring me lately.
I wouldn't think of doing anything to the princess. I'm simply trying to find a way to use her to our benefit. The Prince of Ipseria's existence concerns me too. We need to do something before he does.
Whoa, looks like Saul's putting on his plotting face.
Amlet, as I said before, we need to be rid of the prince. I'll get in touch with my contacts within the major powers. I'll need your assistance.
Come on, let me know what you think.
You've outdone yourself, Basil.
To be fair, its real worth is only testable on the Valkyria. We don't exactly have time to fine-tune the adjustments.
I'm sure Saul will get it done.
How do you figure?
Whenever he has that look, I know he means business.
The old plotting face. No doubt about that.
Am, how do you feel about me interviewing the princess?
Why would you do that?
Just trying to find more ways to leverage her. I think something about what her power can do might be useful.
I'm sure she'd agree to it. She probably has a lot to say.
Something on your mind?
Ophelia cares very deeply for this country, her citizens.
So what?
We...
Hey, this is about vengeance, and don't you forget it. We've got half the world at war now. And sure, it's fine and dandy for a princess to worry about things from her palace. But down here, it's eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth.
What's on your mind?
Don't you feel bad about it? Even a little.
Why should we?
Innocent blood is being shed in the name of our revenge.
The hell's that coming from? This isn't like you, Am.
Never mind.
We all chose to pursue this vendetta. I know you pulled the short straw here, but listen, is there really room for compassion when you think about all our friends who died in that fire? About losing Miss Maria?
You're right.
I still see that shit in my dreams. Every time I close my goddamn eyes, our home reduced to ash, our family, their bodies charred black. And Miss Maria, I'll never forgive, and I'll never forget.
I know. Sorry I brought it up.
I support the princess. The fact that the traitors were willing to use everything and everyone for their vengeance is... I wonder now if I think that because I've been tainted by the previous information surrounding them.
And that's perfectly fine. They took the dishonorable name of traitor willingly. They accepted it with pride. Let's continue with the story. The major powers were beginning to move. This is a true story. The 5 imperial powers of the world: Brenland, Preußen, Frank, Hubstria, and Ruse. These empires held regular conferences known as the Vian Summit.
That's the forum they used to exchange information on how best to govern Europa, wasn't it? The leading superpower was the Brennish Empire. Like today, their country was the most influential in Europa.
Why is Emperor Claudius not here?
I'm sure you can guess the reason.
Well, it would seem that Jutland has him thoroughly whipped. There's no way he'd show his face now.
But it is still the dead of winter. I do hope his imperial posterior hasn't frozen to the throne.
I have a message from His Majesty to everyone present.
Let us hear it then. Speak.
Spring is nearly upon us.
Is that all?
Indeed it is.
What an amusing man.
I believe everyone understands its meaning. The time when the signs of spring surround us is the time the Rusi Empire redraws the map of Europa. Please look forward to it.
That parvenu. Dreadful as ever. The temperature drops every time they enter the room.
Everything is as the Ancient, the Valkyria, wishes it to be.
I'm honored that you've graced me with some of your time. I know you're a busy woman.
Nay, the honor is all mine. Thank you for this opportunity.
Let's dive right in. You've led Jutland to victory after victory, all the while solidifying its people's trust in you. The reason I asked for this interview is to learn how Your Highness feels about the war and her plans for the future.
Please, ask anything you wish.
January 6, 1854. There is record that Ophelia was interviewed by Freke the traitor. With a sincere voice, she spoke of why she stood on the front lines, as well as her aspirations for the people.
Many would describe this war as one fought for liberation.
Just so. The fight for freedom, liberation as you put it, has united the people as one.
I agree.
Furthermore, there is something I wish to inform you, now that the opportunity presents itself.
By all means.
Well, you see, within the ranks of the Rusi Empire, someone who was thought to be long since dead, the Prince of Ipsaria, is alive.
Is that so?
Indeed.
It hasn't been confirmed.
This is a delicate matter, Your Highness. Would you allow me to decide whether or not to include this in the article?
The princess is the same as usual.
I'll be leaving out the shocking truth about Laertes.
Naturally. Amlet, it's dangerous having the princess and prince meet. Can you do anything at the site?
I can kill him.
Sorry for increasing your workload.
He says he's a Grand General. That makes him an enemy.
Gotta wonder why, though. The Rucks do his folks in, so this one-armed wonder signs up as the Emperor's new pet? Please.
Regardless, we can't have her doing something unpredictable. I'm counting on you, Amlet.
Yeah.
Where you headed?
Where I'm needed. Violet is investigating. But now that discord has manifested at the Vian Summit, our best move is distracting Ruse with the major powers. If all goes according to plan, I can buy you time to upgrade and tune up your arsenal.
That's our Saul. His plotting face is not just for looks.
Never is.
Then allow me to continue. February 7th. In another country within the Ruzi Empire, Solomon met with Brenlin's ambassador, off the records.
An unofficial meeting with a leading power and contributor to the BRFH blockade? The traitors even pulled that off?
I'd like to begin by stating Jutland's stance regarding the other world powers, what with this war with Ruse. We do not wish to war with the countries that are unjustly staging the economic blockade against us.
What do you mean, an economic blockade?
Ambassador, did you not agree to meet with me because you wish to have a mutually beneficial discussion? Let's be frank with one another.
You're an intriguing fellow, I'll give you that.
So I've been told.
All right, by Jove. Let's hear what you have to say first.
The land of Molda, which our country reclaimed in that initial battle with Ruse, has a history associated to it. This war originates from this grievance, and has nothing to do with the other world powers.
And just what does this grievance entail?
That I cannot say. Only that it is a problem between Jutland and Ruse.
And you expect us to accept that explanation without question?
I would appreciate if you do so.
You sound rather self-assured.
Of course. I didn't come empty-handed. I have prepared a means to prove our credibility. 3 days from now, we will liberate one of Ruse's colonies.
What?
Dunfalst, in the east.
Dunfalst? That's a country with deep ties to Brenland.
Indeed. You have disputed its ownership with Ruse in the past. Our country will liberate it, and when the war with Ruse ends, we will present it to you as a gift.
Is that possible?
Certainly. Jutland has no stake in Dunfalst, and only cares to strike a blow against Ruse. However, if Brenland wishes it, we shall obtain it. I'd like you to understand that we only have our eyes set on Ruse. I would appreciate if you take our conversation back to your homeland.
Why do you wish to accommodate our country so much?
Jutland's royal family has distant familial ties to Brenland. This proposal stems from that mutual bond.
I see. I understand now.
Returning to our discussion, the sanctions you've placed against our country aren't very aggressive.
What do you mean by that?
These are merely my thoughts on the matter, but the other world powers don't think too highly of the Ruzi Empire. In fact, you wish to be rid of them if possible. With the blockade, it may appear you agree with Ruse, but don't you have plans in place to abandon them if need be?
You say very interesting things. I will respond at a later date, so I must ask that you leave for today.
When Dunfalst is liberated 3 days from now, might I ask you to draw the Valkyria's attention for a few days?
The Valkyria? You're making a frightfully audacious proposal.
It's for our freedom. Once we acquire that, we hope to form an alliance with Brenland.
Solomon, who hurried back, immediately approached the military and influenced them to move on Dunfalst. Parliament, however, had put this plan on hold. Many opinions from both the anti-war movement and the pro-war faction pointed out its low strategic value.
Jutland is presently closing in on the Ruzi Empire from the Western Front. The next target, Dunfalst, is surely off this course. Many of you within the military and Parliament have expressed your skepticism with this proposal. However, those doubts can be cleared with but one word. And that is liberation. Jutland's suffering is one that is felt through all of Europa. There is significant strategic meaning to this. Not only do we focus on the route to advance on our enemy, but by liberating the lands claimed by Ruse, our country will do exactly what we aspire to achieve in this war. These actions will put pressure against their empire.
Liberation became a magic word for the country, and the traders supported it to justify this battle. Around this time, no one believed Jutland could ever lose.
I read it! I feel a little embarrassed. You sure had a lot to say. The journalist had some very good questions. I couldn't help but to get passionate.
Well, he couldn't have picked a better time to put it out.
How do you mean?
Well, the Dunfalst mission is to liberate the colony, right? So it's good to have the princess rally behind that word. In a way, this operation takes on even more meaning.
Oh, Bloom, you're so endearingly dim-witted.
It's like they're still cadets.
Nothing wrong with that. It does good for morale.
Did you read it? Huh? Did ya? No, not quite yet.
So, are you embarrassed?
Godot,
Yes, Your Highness.
any mention of Ipsaria has been omitted.
Well, the journalist did say he might leave it out.
Huh.
Looks like you're all here. We deploy tomorrow, 0400.
Well, this is rather sudden.
It explains why Parliament was so noisy.
I hate waking up early.
We've got your back. You want me or Bridget to drag you out of bed?
I'm counting on you, Tilda.
No hesitation, huh? Well, it's no wonder, given the other option.
Prep and get some rest, all of you. Dismissed.